So a friend of mine contacted me recently and said she had to take a RMD, or required minimum distribution, from an IRA. And she wanted to know what she should do with it. So we talked about a variety of different options, and inevitably putting the money into a CD came up. Now, I'm not normally a huge fan of CDs. They do have their purpose, but over the past decades, they have paid very little, and I have generally considered them sort of low on the totem pole as far as places to put your money. But recently, the rates have been going up, and they are at a point where maybe they are worth taking a look at. So one of the issues that comes up when people are thinking about retirement, either here in the United States or abroad, is what to do with your money. On another video, we can talk about ways to make your money grow. But what about the money you need to keep handy? Maybe you have some cash that you don't really want to risk in an investment, but you don't want it just languishing in a savings account, paying you probably nothing or close to nothing. So hey there, my name is Mike and welcome back to the channel. And in this video, we are going to dive into the nitty-gritty of how CD laddering works and explore its pros and cons so that you can make an informed decision about your financial future. Now, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss one of our helpful videos. Now, let's get started. So I suppose we should first give a quick overview on what a CD is, just in case you're not really familiar with it. So here's basically how it works. You deposit a certain amount of money into a CD for a fixed period of time, which can range from a few months to several years. In return, the bank promises to pay you back the initial amount, called the principal, along with any interest, when the time is up or when the CD matures. That's the term they use, matures. And by the way, if you purchase your CD at a local bank, your CD will be insured up to the FDIC limit, which is currently $250,000. Okay, so let's take a look at Greg and Mary. They have investments that are doing well, but they're downsizing in preparation for retirement, and they recently sold one of their cars. Now they have an extra $10,000 in their savings, and they don't want to risk that by investing, but they would like a little bit more than their savings account would generally pay. Okay, so first things first, let's take a closer look at CD laddering and see how it works. CD laddering is like building a staircase to financial stability. It involves dividing your investment funds into multiple certificates of deposit with different maturity dates. So in this case, Greg and Mary, they had $10,000. We're going to split that into 4 different CDs. So for example, you might invest that into a CD with 6-month CD, a 1-year CD, 18 months, and 2 years, right? As each CD matures, you have some exciting options. You can either reinvest that money or roll it over into a long-term CD, or withdraw the funds for whatever the purposes are that you have at the time. Now, this strategy aims to strike a balance between earning higher interest rates and maintaining some liquidity. So you can see here, the strategy is when the short-term CD, so that first one, say 6 months, starts to mature, you roll that money into a longer and presumably higher paying CD. So it's going to go from a 6-month CD into the 2-year CD. All right, so that makes pretty good sense. You're going to do the same thing with the 1 year. When the 1 year matures, you're going to roll that into the 2 year, and the same with the 18-month and the 2 year. Now, incidentally, this would work no matter what these time frames. You could be 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever the number are. You're just going to roll it into the longer paying, and therefore, I should say the longer period, and therefore higher paying CD at the time. Once you've rolled that last one over, now all your money is earning at the higher rate. And then the process just repeats itself every 6 months. You roll what is now, in this case, a 2-year CD into another 2-year CD. But even though your money may be tied up in the CDs, you still have some of it coming available every 6 months as it matures. Hey, so check this out. I thought this was a really interesting and weird coincidence. I had already done this video. So everything you saw up until now and everything you're going to see afterwards, I had already recorded it. I just hadn't got around to editing it yet. And my mother contacted me and she said, hey, look, I found these CDs from your grandmother. And I thought, you're kidding me. My grandmother's been dead for 15 years. How do you have CDs And what do you mean you found I was totally confused, as I often am when I talk to my mom. And she said, no, let me send you a picture. So she took a little screenshot of these with her phone, and she sent them to me, and I was floored. And you'll see why here in a second. But it turned out these are not the CDs. These are basically the receipts from the CDs from a bank that is no longer in business. I actually had to look it up. But here's why I want to show you this. People talk about the rates going up. I just talked about it in this video. The rates are up in the 4s and 5s right now. And that is considered really high. But there was a time back in the early 80s when if you had a rate paying 5%, you wouldn't even bother to look at it. You wouldn't get out of your car to go explore it in the bank and find out about it. A 5% CD in 1983 would have been so far below the market, it's not even funny. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Well, this is the first one. These are actually out of order because I'm saving the best for last. So this is from 83. So I was 13 years old. In fact, April of 83. I was born in April of 70. So I'm 15 days away from being 13 years old. This is a 6-month CD. My grandparents put this in at $10,000 at 8.95%. That's incredible. 8.95. Again, we talked about current rates are in the 4s and the 5s, and those are really good. But this is 8.95 for $10,000. Now, again, this is 83. Let's look at the next one. These are a little bit out of order year-wise, but you'll see why. All right, so this next one is this is a year long. This goes from July of 84 to July of 85. The same $10,000. So they basically just kept rolling this $10,000 over. But this one's paying 10.75. So this is 1984 to 1985. So now I'm 14 through 15 years old. I'm in junior high, maybe 9th grade, 10th grade, trying to remember. Wow. I mean, 10.75, you would love to have 10.75 on anything. Certainly something guaranteed. Remember, CDs are guaranteed, FDIC insured. So you put your 10 grand in, you're getting your 10 grand back. There's no investment risk here. Plus, you're getting an interest rate of 10.75. Now, here's the best for last. Let's check this out. 1982. So this is a 6-month CD from March of 82 through September of 82, paying 13.226% on a 6-month guaranteed CD. That is incredible to me. I venture to say, unless you're old enough to have been my parents' age, you've never even seen a double-digit rate on a CD. It's unheard of. If someone were to tell you right now, I have a guaranteed investment, you can't lose money, and it pays 13%, I would say run from that person as fast as you can, because they are apparently at the Bernie Madoff school of investing. It's impossible. It doesn't work that way. The stock market certainly doesn't return that. The stock market returns really well, but 13% on average? No. And with no risk? Absolutely not. But in 1982, they were paying 13.226% on a 6-month CD. That's incredible to me. So I just thought that was really interesting. Maybe you do as well. Maybe you're as shocked about it as I am. I knew the rates were higher in the 80s. I just had never seen it in real life. But here we go. This is actual proof that's how the world worked at the time. So maybe we'll get back there someday. This is the good side of high rates. The bad side is if you were trying to buy a house or a car or anything else on a loan, the same high rates apply there as well. People were getting mortgages in the double digits, in the teens, 18, 19% on a mortgage for a normal mortgage. Not bad credit, a normal mortgage. The good side was if you're putting your money into a CD, you were making a pretty good chunk of money. So they should have locked that thing up for a 40-year CD. So anyway, back to the video. So let's explore some of the pros and the cons of CD laddering. First, we'll start with the pros. One of the significant advantages of CD laddering is the opportunity to take advantage of higher interest rates offered on long-term CDs. All right, so banks and financial institutions typically offer more attractive rates on longer-term CDs than they do for short-term because they have access to your money for a longer period of time, so they have to pay you for that privilege, right? By locking your money up, they're going to give you substantially more money. However, I do say that is typical. As I record this right now, the rates are actually a little squirrely because they've kind of been all over the board. And as of today, in fact, the longer ones are actually a little bit paying just a little bit lower than the shorter term. That's not how it normally works. So depending on when you're watching this video, it's probably back to normal where, again, the longer term you're locked up, the higher the rate. Another critical aspect of CD laddering is reduced reinvestment risk, okay? So just follow me on this one. Imagine your investments are all in a long-term CD at a specific rate, but while it's locked up, interest rates start to rise. Now, that's great that they're rising, but your money is locked up at maybe a lower rate, so you can't get into that. So you're locked out. However, with CD laddering, every so often money becomes available. So you're regularly reinvesting your maturing CDs into higher yielding options, which minimizes the impact of changing interest rates. Number 3 is regular access to the funds. That's why I really do love this strategy. It's one of the better strategies out there. CD laddering provides you with the benefit of regular access to a portion of your funds. As each CD matures, you have the option to either withdraw the funds or reinvest them in a longer-term CD. It totally depends on your needs and what you want at the time. But this flexibility is especially useful in managing emergencies or capitalizing on other investment opportunities. Remember, you're never more than 6 months away from one of your maturing CDs. As you can see right there on the screen, every 6 months, you go from 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. Every 6 months, money becomes available to you. You can make the choice what you want to do at the time, but it's available to you without any sort of penalty. Big advantage. Okay, so CDs are not a perfect solution. Like all investments, there are some disadvantages that you may want to consider. So let's take a look at those. The first one, lower yields compared to other investments. While CD laddering is safe and offers predictable returns, it may not offer the highest returns compared to other investment vehicles like stocks or mutual funds. Now, if you're willing to take on more risk, other options might provide a more potential for higher earnings over the long haul. Again, this is why CDs don't normally pop to the top of my head when I'm thinking about investing, but everybody has different risk tolerances. If you're in a stage of your life where you really just don't want risk at all, or you're just not a very risk tolerant, you're very risk averse is what they would say, then CD laddering is a perfect way for you to take advantage of it, but not risk money at all. In fact, it's really pretty good. The second is inflation risk. One crucial factor to consider is inflation. CDs may not always keep pace with inflation, meaning the purchasing power of your money may decrease over time. In times of high inflation, the returns on your CDs may not be sufficient to maintain your standard of living. So sometimes CDs are actually called certificates of depreciation because that's what's happening. The inflation is higher than the rate that the CD is paying. It is something to keep an eye on. Over this last year, we've had some high inflation, so this is something you just have to watch. It's just what it is. You're going to sacrifice sometimes higher returns for more safety. That is completely up to you, but it's something to consider. And the third one is withdrawal penalties. So you have a penalty for that. Any unexpected emergencies may require access to your funds before the CD matures. However, if you withdraw early, you are likely going to face penalties, which can reduce your overall returns and disrupt your CD ladder's planned structure. CD laddering can be an excellent strategy for risk-averse investors seeking steady returns and liquidity. Remember the key pros: higher interest rate, reduced reinvestment risk, and regular access to your funds. However, there are some cons to be mindful of: lower yields compared to other investments, inflation risk, and the potential for early withdrawal penalties. Ultimately, the effectiveness of a CD laddering strategy depends on your unique financial goals, your risk tolerance, and the prevailing economic conditions. It's always a good idea to consult with a financial advisor before implementing any investment strategy. So now, if you've wondered if you will have enough money at retirement, check out this video right here on the 4% rule. In it, I walk you through my free calculator, and you can see exactly how much you can afford to spend in retirement without going broke. So in the meantime, until we talk again, keep on tracking.